Good morning. So, I recently, about a week ago, transferred my 150-gallon reef tank into my new 180. So, figured I'd do a short video. The lights are still ramping up, so we got about another 30 minutes until they'll be fully. My phone is putting a real white effect on this tank. It's actually quite a bit bluer, but I'm not that smart with phones, so I don't know how to fix it. Yeah, but it's a 180 gallon, 6 foot by 2 foot by 2 foot. I'm debating if I'm going to add sand. Right now it just has an egg crate. I like to use egg crate on the bottom. It lets me put the rock on and not really worry about any high pressure points on the glass, which I'm not really worried about it anyways. I don't think the rock would hurt the glass one bit since it has a aquarium mat and 3/4 inch plywood below it. But I still like the egg crate. So let's see what do we got here. Our flow is 2 Jabo Model 90s, alternate about 20 seconds apiece with about a 3-second interval when they're both off between when they kick in and alternate. I've got 2 returns. I've got a ghost overflow. My lighting is 3 Kessel 360X lights. The stand is actually a facade. So if I open up the stand, besides the 75-gallon sump you can see in here, the stand is actually a 2x4 frame stand, and then this plywood facade actually just slides right out. So it's just a 3-sided facade that I can just slide right out the front and then have full access to the tank. I bought the tank used, not sure what kind it is, but it is Euro braced, and it had really bad haze etching on the glass. I tried everything I could possibly think of, and it just would not take it off, and so I finally had to break down, climbed inside the tank with a drill, buffing wheel, and cerium oxide, and after about 6 hours of buffing, it came out pretty darn clear. If you notice the one big sail fin, I got him with a 55-gallon reef tank, and he had extremely bad head and lateral line erosion. The 55-gallon reef tank just looked horrible. It had about a 5-inch sand bed, slime algae, aptasia everywhere, 2 hang on the back filters that were just sludge. So I was given it. It had 5 fish, including the big fox face and that big sailfin, and so I took out most of the sand bed and cleaned it up. Started feeding them fortified seaweed and food with Celcon and Zoe and Garlic Extreme, and he's actually recovered pretty good. He's still recovering, but his face is starting to get color back, so we're hoping eventually that he totally recovers and will look nice and prettier. I mean, he's already pretty. He's a character. He swims along. Everybody gets great. It's pretty funny. I'll show if I walk over here. The fish just all think it's feeding time. Everywhere I go, they just follow me. And if I walk over here, they're gonna follow me back over. So yeah, it's pretty funny. I feed them two strips of seaweed a day, and then a little bit of frozen and Formula 1 and 2 flake food mixed. Stuff is still opening up. It's only been actually transferred over for about a week, so I'm assuming that in another couple weeks, hopefully everything will be all happy. Little Tamini tang back there. His tail's growing back. On the move over, he lost about half his tail. Not sure why, but it's growing back. There's our lawnmower Bleeny down there. He's just cruising around chomping. Got our firefish over here in his spot. It's hard actually to see because all the bigger fish just love to get in the way. Our skunk clown has been kind of confused. For about 3 years, he was up in his anemone. The anemone split. It used to be huge, so it split a couple weeks ago, and now he just kind of shoots between there and the long tentacled xenia there. He just shoots back and forth between the two, so I'm assuming it's going to eventually go back to the anemone. There's our clam back there. Bubble coral I got with the 55 gallon. Yeah, so stuff is still opening up. Hopefully in about another week everything will be all happy again and really fill the tank out. My 150 didn't have a lot of swimming room between the rocks. I mean, I thought it did, but it really didn't. So when I moved up to here, I actually only used about probably 2/3 to 3/4 of the rock. And so when I aquascaped this, I wanted to give it a lot of room, holes and caves and swim throughs to where the fish can just swim all throughout. Over the years I went more from when I first started and you would just pack a tank full of rock to where now it's more of a open look to where the fish have all kinds of room to swim. They can swim all the way back through the whole thing if they wanted to. There's only a couple spots where it touches the back glass, and even where it touches, for the most part, I put little 2-inch squares of the egg crate just to kind of give it a little bit easier time resting against the glass. So this is the tank, 180 gallon glass. If you buy a used tank and it has haze etching, get that cerium oxide with the buffing wheel, because it's a lot of work. It took me about 6 hours, but it makes a huge difference. I mean, this tank was hard to see through. It was so bad. So thank you very much for watching. Enjoy your weekend.